This is not a video I wanted to be filming. But here we are, on my bed, camera's crooked. It's night! But you know what? YouTube waits for no man. And all I have to say is, Poptropica creators, what the... But let's not get too ahead of ourselves, Poptropica creators, who I know are watching. You better be watching. This is meant especially for you. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. You did good. We asked for Beeve. You added Beeve. We've sent you tons of fan art. You showcased the fan art. And we thank you for that. It's been great. It's been lovely. I'm friends with a lot of the fan artists, and every time you share one of their fan arts, they are just so filled with joy and excitement. Why did you have to ruin it? Why did you have to ruin this great relationship we were building? I don't... Okay. So. So the inspiration for making this video was the Mythology Island port. But before we get into that, let's get into Zomberry 2 really quick. Zomberry 2 was not great. You teased it about a year ago, I believe. Hopefully I put something on screen correcting that if I'm wrong. I don't actually know how edited this video is going to be. We'll find out. About a year ago, it was teased that this was going to be made. And then, like, a year later, and it wasn't that, like, spectacular. Like, it was made of completely reused assets, from what I understand. I don't know that much about, like, the behind-the-scenes stuff, but from what I've understood by talking to people who do, it's made of completely reused assets and just, like, all kinds of weird stuff. And it didn't seem like you guys finished it, which was really weird because you had a year. Now compare this to Bloody Shrink Ray, the fan-made island, that was finished... I'm assuming it's on screen right now, how long it took for Bloody Shrink Ray from idea to it being made. I haven't played it yet, and I know it's going to be made of reused assets and all of that. But still, it only took... So, yeah, that's where we are. The Mythology port. On your blog, you said... I'm putting it on screen, but I'm paraphrasing here. You said that you had taken suggestions and talked to some of the fans and figured out, like, things that the fans wanted in the island. Who asked to be spoon-fed the island? Like, who asked for that? Whoever it is, if you're watching this, DM me on any social media. I want to talk. We need to have a conversation. But yeah, when me and Theo read that you had made changes, we were excited. We're like, ooh, it's probably gonna look better. It might have some minor plot changes. And it does have minor plot changes, but not to make the island better, to make it easier. Which, like, we don't want an easier experience. The whole idea of Poptropica is about exploration. Exploring all these different islands. Exploring all these different places in the island. And you took that and made it linear. Which I know there are linear islands. My favorite island, Twisted Thicket, is linear. But Mythology isn't. And Mythology is one that so many people remember playing as a little kid and holding so dear that to just do that and, like, rip it to shreds and, like, lose some of the pieces and rearrange them, like, it's a mess. And the only reason I can see for it is making it easier for children. And I hate to break it to you, but the people playing your game aren't children. We're all, like, at least 13, 14-ish and up, which I know technically that's a child, but I'm talking, like, when I say children, I'm talking like 6 or 7. we don't need to be spoon-fed an island that we can all pretty much recite scene for scene by memory. Like, why did you make those changes? It was just, the entire time I was playing it, it was so weird. Look, Poptropica, I'm kind of speaking from the perspective of the whole Poptropica community, because I asked some of my friends in the community to, like, give suggestions on what I should talk about. You're gonna lose us. Like, the game is dwindling, and it's that nostalgia that is fueling us to continue doing events like Pop Month. But if the game isn't good, there's not going to be content to talk about. Marianne can only draw so many pictures of Mordred before she gets bored of it. Theo can only thirst over so many characters before he gets bored of it. And that's the problem. We need more content, or we're just gonna give up. And we get it. You're trying to port the old islands. But either A, keep them the same so that our nostalgia will continue to push us further, or B, change them but make them more interesting, make the plot more interesting, add a few more puzzles, like, make them harder, not easier, as we've all grown as people and know how to beat the islands. Like, if you want us to see mythology and play it 7, 8, 10 times, then we need to have some challenge. That was not challenging. It felt like I was watching a movie. The only part of that island that took me long was the boss fight, and that's because it was super slow. That's not really your fault. I do not have, like, a good computer. I won't hold you accountable. But another problem were these pop-up ads that cover, like, half the screen sometimes. And when I started the boss fight, one appeared on my screen. I didn't have time to, like, close it out. So I'm, like, trying to maneuver around Zeus while I can't see myself. And there were parts that the ad that popped up on screen completely blocked dialogue that was being said, so I wouldn't even know what was happening. Not that you can really have a grip on reality on this island, since just random people are just giving you stuff. At least, with all the issues mythology had, at least everything you got made sense where you got it. Did it really make sense to get the starfish off of Poseidon's statue? No, but it makes even less sense for the random guy in the underworld to give it to you. What else? Oh, also, in between full screen video ads, immediately take me out of the experience. Original Poptropica, the way that, like, the ads were integrated within the world still was, like, weird because they're ads, like, no one likes ads, but it made sense in the world. But as soon as a big screen comes up and I start having to watch a commercial for Legos, I'm taken out of the experience because I'm no longer seeing the world from the eyes of my Poptropica, and I'm seeing the worlds from the eyes of me. And not to be, like, the bearer of bad news or anything, but are you guys just not gonna port Poptropica? Like, are we just not getting that in hacks? Because I hate to break it to you, but a lot of the things that Poptropica makes fun of, you guys are doing. So yeah. That is how I feel. You probably aren't watching this video. You probably quit, but that's even more reason, because you claim that you're listening to the fans and participating with the fans, but if you're not going to listen to our complaints and only listen when we're talking you up and talking about how good the game was, keyword was, then that's not a good relationship with your fans. That's... I don't know the word. I'm tired. It's night. I want to go to sleep. I was at school when Mythology came out. I hope you watch this. You probably won't, but I don't know. I just don't want to see my favorite game be lost in time.